All right, guys, it's Paul Singh, the Market Speculator, with the trade report for Friday, August 3rd, 2017. Got the jobs report today. We got some interesting movement pre-market where we've got stocks that we like here: Yelp, GoPro, WTW, Edit. All of these are mainstays in our focus list or show up from time to time. And then AAOI, one of our favorite semiconductors, gapping down huge, 26%. This will be on my radar for the gap down reversal, not necessarily today, but maybe next week. We'll see how that plays out. And then FLR also, which makes it to the focus list from time to time. So we've got some interesting gap ups and gap downs. Those of you who are day traders, there should be a lot of good volatility early in the morning. And then let's touch on Tesla. Now that we have earnings out of the way, we can really start to trade this. We had the big gap up yesterday on earnings news, so this earnings price reaction. We also had some good news with the new car they have out, which, by the way, I'd put a down payment on and pulled it because it was taking so long. But anyway, back to this. I want to get in. We're at 347.09. You could just jump in here and just kind of take a guess because you have such a high risk reward. We know there's an all-time high here at 383, 384. Depending on if you're looking at the close or the intraday action. We've got an open gap here at 352. If that can fill, that's a key level. So we'll watch 352. And also we have a pre-market high on the day of the breakout. I'm going to the 5-minute charts here now. And my pre-market is not showing up here, or maybe it is, but 350 was the pre-market high. So that's going to be a key level in terms of that's where the pre-market action went on the day of the breakout. That is key round number resistance or support at 350. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to watch it at 347. Maybe it just keeps pulling back in and we never get a trade. But if this thing clears 350, I'm going to get in. So, and that's probably the only thing I'm looking to get in right now, even though there's some good earnings reactions as well, just because I'm so leveraged to one side right now in an iffy market. So I've got the hedge with SQQQ, which is essentially shorting the Qs. But then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 longs, and they're all a little bit shaky right now. So I don't want to just continually add positions, but I love Tesla. I like the fact that not just the company or because it's Tesla, just because when this thing starts moving, we know it can really move. You know, we saw that here. So, and we've got that high here. So if we clear 350, I will probably get in at the close today. So keep an eye out on that. If it doesn't get up over 350, now it is a little complicated by the fact that there's the gap fill here also at 352, but I'm going to go with 350 right now. If it breaks that pre-market high from the earnings reaction, I'll get in. And that gives us a target of 30 points here. And I'm only going to be risking probably about 10. So right there, I'm getting 3 to 1. And you guys know if there's a 3 to 1 or 4 to 1, I'm taking it. So, you know, we're part of this is we're risk managers. And that gives me fantastic risk. And I could even play the breakout of 380 on that. Let's look at the back to the indexes here. A little shaky. Pulled back in a little bit. SPY held the 9 and is popping a little bit this morning. Not much going on. IWM here. Some issues here, but there we go. IWM continuing down, and then the Qs looking shaky as well. Back below the 9, still holding this range. Again, you know, even though I'm short the Qs with SQQQ going long SQ, the inverse, my preference would be to get stopped out of this one because that probably means my 4 longs are working. Let's review those again. SQQQ overall looking very well. Entry price right about at my entry. I think my entry was 28.58. Facebook still the breakout, classic breakout pullback, holding the 9, so everything's okay there. And you know we're using a little bit of a looser stop there. Netflix. A little shaky now below the 9, but we're going to give it all the way to the bottom of the breakout bar. So we've still got a good 4 points there. LABU at this point, it didn't pop right away. You know, what we want to see on these hammers is a pop right away like we had here. But it is holding that level. So as long as it holds, we're okay. And then FSLR holding the 9. And we still have to the gap. Now, when these things start pulling back a little bit, I'm getting a ton of emails about, are we still in this? Where are we getting out? And nothing changes on these things. Don't, you set it and forget it. We have the whole plan laid out. Don't micromanage. Don't get antsy on these things. Just a little bit of a pullback. And if you get stopped out, so what? So we stick to the plan. I'm not adjusting anything. So that's the idea behind these positions here. Looking at Tesla, we've got some interesting gap ups this morning. WTW is one. I could do an early entry if it clears this range here at 39, and it's been a volatile stock. We have edit gapping. Looks like it's come back in, so we'll take edit off. Yelp gapping big. Closed at 31 yesterday, up to 37.38. This has a lot of short interest, and when they have a lot of short interest, sometimes I'll enter early because I know there can be a short squeeze on these things, and that's, for you day traders, that's something to pay attention to early in the morning as well. GoPro, huge move up here to 976, clearing this 200-day moving average. So another one I really like, and maybe could enter early. And again, this thing has huge short interest. Short interest ratio is 13. The overall short float is 27. That means 27% of the float is short. Some real opportunity for a short squeeze here. So we'll be watching that one closely as well. I might take a small shot even early in the day. And if I get stopped out and it pulls back in, no big deal. But this thing could run to 11, 12, 13 with this kind of short interest. So we'll be watching that. And then AAOI gapping down big right at the 50. So we're going to watch for a potential gap down reversal if it closes up over the 50, or maybe in the next week if it continues down and then gives us a reversal play. And it has been good for gap down reversals in the past. So that's all I'm really looking at today. We do have, the focus list has not changed from yesterday, so that analysis still remained the same. And Lowe's has gap down reversaled and filled, basically invalidated the whole gap down now. I never took it, but we are up over the 50 now, and this still could run. One other stock, let me point out, FCX. Like the breakout pullback, I want to see some strength here at the 9. If I do, that's one. There's actually a number of good setups that I like. Tesla, FCX, a few of these gappers. The problem is I've got all these positions, but maybe I'll add one or two still because some of these do have their own catalysts. So that's it for the trade report. I'll see you guys later today because I'm going to be I'm going to be traveling this weekend. I might not be back by Monday morning, so I'll put the trade report for Monday out after the close today.